So when I first recorded this video a little bit ago, I had 21 characters that I wanted to see in Mario Kart World. But the more that I recorded, the more that I realized I just had too many ideas. So instead of making a big old edited video like I planned, I'm just going to record myself talking. I have the list that I had originally, and I'll just add to it. This is actually quite easier for me because I actually have a job interview tomorrow, and I'd like to get some sleep tonight. So starting off with the Friends of Mario category, I have Toadsworth, Noki, Poplin, and Luma. That's what I had originally written down. I think that Luma would really be good to go along with Rosalina. I think Poplin is a really, really good racer for someone to represent the more modern Mario games. Other characters that I think would fit in that would be Broodals, Cappy, really any of like the... I mean, we kind of have that with 3D World and 3D Land characters, but some Mario Odyssey representatives would be really cool too. Some Mario Odyssey, Mario Wonder characters, I'd love to see those. Noki would really round out the Pianta and Noki and Cataquack with the Mario Sunshine. I really hope that they bring Noki's back, not even because I'm that big of a Sunshine fan, but just because I would just absolutely love to see both Piantas and Noki's together again since Mario Sluggers. That would be really, really cool. Some other characters from the Friends of Mario that I think would be really cool to see that have been in previous Mario Karts was Poochie. I think Poochie should definitely come back. I just think that it's a really cool character. And see, who else was a friend of Mario? I guess really that's really it. The rest of them are kind of just Bowser's enemies or Kong's, which we'll get to those later. Bowser's Army is the next category, and the 5 that I had written down originally was the Ninja, which I think is honestly surprised that they haven't shown Ninja yet. Ninja's been in a lot of things recently. Bully, I think Bully would be really fun, and everyone said that Pokey couldn't make it in, but not only did we get Pokey, but we got Fishbone and Coin Coffer, so it is what it is, I guess. Womps and Thwomps I think would be really, really funny, and if they really wanted to acknowledge something funny, they could make a green-blue tinted Womp to reference the imprisoned one from Mario 64. Make him a full racer, and the game will be worth $80. That's kind of the law of equivalent Thwomp exchange. And then the last one I have written down is the Mecha Koopa. I think that the Mecha Koopa, isn't someone that I would have ever really wanted, but since we're getting all these wacky characters, hey, it is what it is. Some other characters that I think would be really cool from Bowser's Army, bring back Kamek. Kamek tried so hard to get into Mario Kart, and he finally was able to get in after so long. And don't just relegate my bro to an item again. That would be tragic. A Bob-omb. I would like to see a Bob-omb. A small, normal Bob-omb. Obviously, we'll get to King Bob-omb, but a small Bob-omb will be cool. I hope that they have costumes for the Koopas, the various Koopas. We have Koopa Troopa. Give me a costume for Koopa Paratroopa. Or not just that. Give me a costume so I have green Koopa, red Koopa, green Paratroopa, blue or red Paratroopa, and hell, throw in the one from the Mario movie, the cool guy with the spikes and the sunglasses, that was supposed to represent the blue shell. That would be pretty sick. Would be sick. And then we have these special army members, special Bowser's Army members. I think would be really, really awesome to see. Boom Boom and Pom Pom. Boom Boom was in Mario Tennis Aces, and Pom Pom was in Mario Party, but neither have been in a Mario Kart. I think both would be pretty freaking sweet. I have Return of the Koopalings. I am a Koopaling fan. I'll say it, big Koopaling fan over here, and I hope that they get to come back. Do not disbandon them, because people were upset People were not upset that the Koopalings were in the game. People were upset that Koopalings took up so much of the spots, but I think that that problem lies not with the Koopalings, but with characters such as Tanuki Mario, Cat Peach, Pink Gold Peach, etc., etc., etc. So, bring back the Koopalings. This character roster is already phenomenal as it is, so the Koopalings would not be taking away 7 slots, it would be enhancing. So, bring back the Koopalings. More special Bowser's Army characters that they should return. Petey Piranha. What the heck are we doing, guys? Petey Piranha he needs to be in this game. Same with King Bob-omb. King Bob-omb was in Mario Kart Tour, and I think that anything good from Mario Kart Tour should be salvaged and brought to a new Mario Kart, like a war refuge coming into a country that doesn't hate them. So, Mario Kart Tour will die one day. That's just the nature of mobile games. So, spare King Bob-omb. Don't let the flame die out. Bring him over to Mario Kart World. Some other Bowsers, or special Bowser members I have are the Broodals, Topper, Harriet, Spewart, Rango, and Madame Brood. I think all 5 of these would be pretty freaking awesome. And really just any major enemies from Bowser's Army would be really cool to see from any like Mario game. I know in Mario, New Super Mario Bros. On the DS, you had King Goomba, the Big Pokey. I know you had the Koopalings and all those. We already talked about the Koopalings. You had Kamek, maybe even Camilla. Not Camilla, that's not her name. That's the vice president. What was her name? Kameka? The woman. The girl, the pink girl Kamek. I forget her name. I think she would be really awesome. It would be really, really cool to see. I love playing as bosses. I love playing as bosses from various Mario games. That's why I'd love to see Bully, maybe even the Big Bully, or the Ice Bully from Mario Kart DS. The mission mode would be really cool to see. Then I think just some more bosses would be really cool. I love playing as normal enemies. That's my favorite thing to do in the whole Mario universe. So just being able to play as these normal baddies, I am very happy for. But maybe some bigger bosses would be cooler too. But some more regular enemies that I just thought of. 2 items that I think could work pretty well as characters would be Blooper. We already have a Cheep, so Blooper wouldn't be that crazy. And Chain Chomp. I don't really know how they'd fit Chain Chomp into a car, but again, need I remind all the other characters that are in this game? Maybe they could do a small Chain Chomp. I know in Mario, Paper Mario, the Chain Chomps are usually really small. They're about the same size as Mario, maybe a little bit smaller. They're like dogs almost, like size wise, they're like dogs. So maybe like a mini Chain Chomp. He's already been playable in Mario Tennis, so who knows? Bring him back. And then we have some of the special characters. I am not holding out for special characters. I am not really asking for special characters because, as cool as they would be, I'm not that worried about them. And by that I mean original, like actual full-blown named characters from different sub-series. So like from the Mario RPG game, you have Geno and Mallow. Those would be really, really cool to see. From the Paper Mario series, I would personally choose Dementio. But there's Count Bleck. You have any of like the helpers from the Modern 3. I know people are divisive on that, but you have Kirsty. You have the Huey, that's his name, and Olivia. King Ali would be pretty cool. Who are some more? Goombella. I have not played a lot of Thousand Year Door, so I don't really remember a lot of those characters. From the Mario and Luigi series, there's a ton of characters you could pull from that. Dreambert, King Pete or Prince Peasley. But the one that I would choose actually is the French block guy. I think his name is like Roquet Monsieur. I forget his name, but he's the block French guy who's in almost all the games. He's as close as we can get to a reoccurring character in that series. Or maybe Starlo. Heck, throw in Starlo if you want. Mario Party, not really a whole lot of original characters, but I did pick MC Ballyhoo and Big Top, the host of Mario Party 8. I'm not sure if it's MC Ballyhoo or Mick Ballyhoo, but it's stylized capital M, capital C, space Ballyhoo. So, MC Ballyhoo. And I thought he'd be really cool to see. I think he has an interesting design. But again, not a whole lot of Mario Party characters to choose from. Those kind of just pull from the standard Mario fare. Luigi's Mansion characters, I could think of four interesting ones. Obviously Professor Egad. I think he should be in the game. I think he would be. He's in enough Mario as it is to be in more things. Luigi, I think maybe not a character, but as definitely like a costume for Luigi. If costumes can have special tricks like it seems that they might, Luigi would be pretty freaking cool. Polterpup, kind of a similar thing with Poochie. Just kind of fits the general dog-ish vibe. I think Polterpup would be cool to see. And then the fourth character I had, which I think would be really cool to see, is actually a combination of three characters in one. That maybe they swap every time you do three tricks. They swap they swap to the next one. But it's actually the ghosts. But it is the first ghost from each of the three games. So you have the gold ghost from Luigi's Mansion 1, and then he swaps into the greenie from Luigi's Mansion 2, and then swaps into the goob from Luigi's Mansion 3. They all have that, trickster, goofy, rambunctious trickster energy. So they all kind of have similar personalities. And it would be really cool to see all three of the Luigi's Mansion games, because they're all great games, represented. So that way there isn't just bias towards one. I doubt that will ever happen, knowing Nintendo, but that would be something I would love to see. Some other, just actual characters from Mario. You have Cappy. Cappy would be really cool. I don't know how they'd work in the FLUDD, but maybe they could throw the FLUDD in somewhere. There's some actual named Lumas, like Lubba, Hungry Luma. Those would be cool to see. There's just so many Bowser's enemies. Fire Snake, or Fuzzies, or Amps, or just so many different characters that they could really honestly, with what they've already shown, they could literally do anything they wanted to. They could, the minute that they added Parabitty-Bud, then the gloves were off. It could be anything, anyone, doesn't matter how big or small they are. Crossover characters, I don't know if they should do that. I'm actually a big crossover fan, for the most part, but I honestly feel that right now, with the game that they've showed, I think that they should focus on just Mario characters. Stuff that's tied to Mario obviously would be fine, like Donkey Kong and Yoshi, and maybe even WarioWare, but I won't touch on that because I don't really know much about WarioWare. But definitely just stick to the Mario universe. To go along with Donkey Kong, obviously we have Donkey Kong. He looks different, and they haven't shown any other Kongs. I'm hoping that is just because maybe they redesigned the characters and they're waiting to show them off either in the major Mario Kart Direct, or they're going to show them off later on for the Donkey Kong Bonanza. Either way, I hope that we get to see the return of Diddy Kong, Funky Kong, and Dixie Kong. Dixie was in Thor. And hey, maybe throw in Funky Kong. I'd love to see Funky Kong, or not Funky Kong, Cranky Kong. Cranky Kong is my favorite Kong. I think that he would fit right in, waggling his cane as he drives down the ramps. But the three characters from Donkey Kong that I want more than any Kong, I would sacrifice all the Kongs for any of these three, is obviously King K. Rool, would be cool to see. Lord Frederick, the big whale guy from Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, would be awesome. And then this is a crazy pull, but my personal favorite Donkey Kong character is actually Tiki Tong, which is the big tiki that when they all melt into one big lump and they turn into the big tiki, that's Tiki Tong. And that's actually my favorite Donkey Kong character. So I would love to see that big guy death gripping the wheel. It'd be awesome to see. And I think I'm gonna wrap it up here because I need to get to bed because of the job interview tomorrow. But these are just some of the characters that I think would be cool to see. I really, really hope that there are more characters. Not because what we have isn't enough. I think if this was it, I would not be disappointed. But more characters are always better. There's a whole ass direct in like what? Let's say midnight right now, so in what, 3 days. So I'm just really, 10 more characters, 20 more characters, maybe 30 more characters, and then I will be completely satisfied. Oh yeah, and the Miis. Bring back the Miis. Miis are pretty important. And Tomodachi Life 2 is coming out, so bring back the Miis. And if they bring back the me, then I, in parentheses, me, will be happy. That joke didn't really make a lot of sense with words, but you get what I'm saying. So, these are my most wanted characters from Mario Kart World. Let me know some of your most wanted characters in the schmomments down below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all around. Bye-bye.